What is up, everybody? Welcome to more 2021 Duels Winter Finals. We're in the round 2 now. I am Delphius. How's it going? I am doing well. And we are about to hop into Kolaru versus R22 here. Now, this is a best of 7 rather than the best of 5 from the previous rounds. And we have 2 different sets here instead of 1 as well. So we have 6E and 2C. I think it's the first 3 games are on the first set, and then the last remaining games are on the second. So for 6E, it's Hagro Pass plus Random Mirror. And Hagro Pass is a fun one. It's one of Premium Bow's maps. They start with 2 pre-built Tier 3 Warrens, Fox and Owl. And we've seen people sell one or the other, maybe even both. There's also a lot of defense already on the map, and then it's Random Mirror. So that's gonna be fun. Randomly generated mirror match decks, and then for the second variant here, we've got 2C. 2C is Expanse, which isn't too crazy. The big thing is on game 1 only, so it'll be game 4 in the series. It's Squirrel plus Tier 3 plus Artillery only. And then for C, it's always different, so you can't pick the same units 2 matches in a row. The units are known in advance, says Kolaru for the Random Mirror. Yeah, that is true. I appreciate you pointing that out. That can matter, so you can kind of prep for it. But anyways, we've got a lot to cover today. We're going to go through Kolaru versus R22, and then followed up by QQ versus Lupus. And we are trying to get a live match between Big Pimpatosh and Tander Draco at some point of the stream. And then finally, we're going to do some more silly hat drawings for round 3. So without any further ado, let's hop into this first set here. R22 versus Kolaru. Okay, spawning in the bottom, we've got R22. And in the top right, Kolaru. Both players putting Fox in their deck. So that makes me think that they want to keep that starting Fox, but no, Kolaru, both players sold off the starting Fox. Kolaru instead going to go right for the Boar. So assuming R22 is going to keep the Owl Warren here, which is the case. So nice move here from Kolaru. R22 will scout that Boar, I believe. Actually did not scout it. But Kolaru does come in and confirm that the Owl Warren is still here. I like the Owl Warren. I think you don't necessarily need the Owl in your deck to use it. It's pretty easy to kind of just rally it back and forth. Owl doesn't really take any kind of fine-tuned micro compared to some of the other Tier 3s like the Fox. And Kolaru a little bit worried here with some early mines from both players. Maybe there's something I'm not thinking about. Maybe the Fox Warren, or I'm not sure, because that wouldn't really help against the Fox. Yeah, both players opting for some early mines, so I'm curious what that's all about. Maybe the Mole Rush, perhaps? So the Boar is bought and paid for. R22 does have the Owl. Curious how he wants to use the Owl. I think we have seen a few players on this map start kind of sweeping some of the defense off the map with the Owls. So Kolaru getting up this Boar here to help deal with the mice in Tier 1 coming out of R22. And yeah, we just gotta wait and see where this game's gonna go. The mines do get sold off from Kolaru, so yeah, maybe just worried about some kind of rush. Just making sure that they were prepared for it. And Kolaru gonna go ahead and start making his way up and onto that high ground for the natural there. Our level's okay in chat? I think they should be fine, right? Please let your boy Delphius know. Skunk's on the way for R22. Both players just starting to seize this high ground here, beginning to expand. And Kolaru thinking about marching across the map. Maybe actually just going to utilize this Boar to really roast down these defenses. Boar does do extra damage of structures, so can create a nice path. But Kolaru's going for it here. He's throwing down the mine, or the moles rather, which is kind of the tooth and tail version. You know, when you're attacking, you throw in those moles. It's like, all right, man, we're going no holds bargain here, kind of all in. But R22 gonna try to delay this attack by running around with the owl, making the units chase it. A couple skunks do get picked up though, and this is looking bad for R22. He did manage to sneak some units across the map, but his reinforcement lines are being intercepted here by Kolaru's units. And yeah, this owl will make it over to the other base, but is it enough? I don't think so. And Kolaru just marching across the map with some boar, with some supporting tier 1. Just roasting and toasting his way to a very quick Game 1 victory. Okay. Let's keep her moving here. Game number 2, same rules. And yeah, let's hop right into it. Random mirror, so we'll have different this time. Yeah, I didn't think about it the last time, but I was like, oh, that was smart for them to keep the fox. Yeah, this is random mirror. Sorry, guys. I'm just getting warmed up here. Look at this from Kolaru. Really interesting. Sells off the tier 3 Warrens to get that extra money to just go 15 lizards right off the gate. Will he be able to afford all these lizards? Let's see. R22 gonna walk in and say, oh no. Rush back home. Oh, and Kolaru sells off a couple of those lizards, so a little bit of mind games. Meanwhile, R22's not over correcting. I think selling the farm there is a little rough. I mean, it makes sense in his position to sell that farm. But if he would have not sold the farm, it would have been fine for Kolaru going down to 6 lizards. So Kolaru just going to stay with your standard 6 lizard attack here. Gonna get actually rolled over by these mines here. Kind of walked right into R22's trap card there. Kolaru getting sent to the Shadow Realm. R22 gonna clean up those mines. So yeah, I mean, R22's eco was a little bit delayed on that last farm, but I think he won that battle so handedly that he'll feel pretty fine. So yeah, after everything's said and done, I think we're in a pretty good spot here in the early game. I mean, keep in mind, R22 did use a lot of mines, did lose probably a squirrel or 2 there. So didn't come out completely unscathed either. But R22 moving into some skunks. And the random mirror is important because one aspect of Tooth and Tail is kind of never being 100% sure what's in your opponent's deck, right? So these players do know exactly what tools are on the tool belt of their opponent. And some skunks seem to make sense. Kolaru is really going heavy on the tier 2. I do like this. I think Skunk Falcon is going to be a really nice comp when it gets going. And 4 skunks is always very strong. R22 actually going to opt completely out of the skunks. That's very smart after the read that R22 just got from Kolaru. Seeing Kolaru is way down on tier 1. And just going to try to get that pure Falcon force. And Falcons are such a swingy unit. They can snowball a game and a fight very, very quickly. So R22 is banking on the fact that he's going to have the superior Falcon count. And it can just come in and punch Kolaru out in one fell swoop. Can someone in chat let me know about the levels? I think the levels are fine, right? Should be fine. Please let me know. Alright. So Kolaru is going to come in and see that it is 3 Falcon Warrens. Thanks, Mocha. And is R22 actually going to commit, or is he just going to expand? Right now he's throwing down some farms. I think he ate a mine hit or 2 there from Kolaru. So maybe we're going to get into a macro game. Kolaru does have his own additional base here. Start farming it up as well. Not sure if we're going to get to a straight 16 farm rampage here. I think, though, these players are starting to realize this is going to be a Falcon War, right? Now, a lot of tier 1 can be good against Falcons, too. You get up and underneath them. You know, you get a lot of units. So the Falcons do so much DPS, you might be wasting a little bit of that DPS on something like a lizard or a squirrel, right? So that's generally how you deal with Falcons outside of like your own Falcons, is just have a ton of tier 1. Kind of overwhelm them. Let's see, Kolaru's moving out. R22 does have a few more Falcons at the moment. No skunks for R22 though. Kolaru's got to be careful clearing out these defenses. Smart from Kolaru here, kind of Got that star sense tingling that there's probably mines around, so gonna go ahead and do a little mine sweeping, but gonna take a couple hits. Needs to be careful. And really good, really good mines from R22 so far. The big fight's gonna happen, and I think this is really gonna favor R22. That might just be a tap from Kolaru, and there it is. You know, trying to battle up the high ground after eating all those mines. R22 had just a ton of Falcons ready to roll. So, yeah, we're gonna tie things up here 1-1. Sweet, we got a series on our hands here. Book says game sound could use a little love. Alright, I cranked it up a little bit. Okay. Yeah, I'd rather the game sound be too low than too high. Sometimes I realize that on my VODs where the music's like really cranking. So yeah, I turned it up a little bit. Let me know if that's better. Okay. Game number 3, let's go. You know what, I think generally, yeah, it's better if the game sound is too low than too high for sure. At the bottom, we've got Kolaru, and up top, R22. R22 keeping the Fox, Kolaru keeping the Owl. These units are paid for. It's kind of hard to tell since they're not in traditional deck slots here. They're just kind of features of this custom map. But by selling the one Warren, you are paying for the other one. So keeping an eye on those Warrens. It does look like Kolaru opts to sell the Owl. Meanwhile, R22 keeping the Fox. So we have seen oh no, Kolaru's doing a Artie rush here. Oh my gosh. There's no tier 1 at all in these decks. This is hilarious. Oh, trying to not let this... If this Fox gets out and gets downfield, it's game. That's just game over. We've seen QQ win like that by selling the Owl Warren, getting the 4-farm Fox, and just ending the match. Gonna build the mine right on top of the Fox. No, move it. Oh my gosh. That is hilarious. Okay, R22 needs his cams to be able to kill these mines and knock out this Artie, but it's getting so close. Oh my god, 2 HP on that cam. The Artie's getting up. It's gonna defend itself. It's gonna start shelling R22's base. This is so cool. Big brain Kolaru here. That is amazing. Okay, the Fox is still up, but again, if R22 can somehow get this Fox downfield, no, that is gonna be it. R22 not dealing with this nonsense, saying, get me out of here. And Kolaru takes game number 3. That was so cool. That's probably the coolest way I've seen a win on this map so far. This map has actually been a lot of fun. This is one of my favorite maps, I think, of the tournament so far. Okay, so if I remember correctly, it's games 4 through 7, which are going to be 2C. So this game is going to be kind of a normal map. It's an extra large map with the map gem bio Scraptown, the deck size of 5. But in game 1, the players can only take Squirrel plus any tier 3 they want, or Artie. And then always different is the map, or is the variant here. So they can't select 2 units. They can't select the same unit 2 games in a row. So I'm not really going to do any fancy tracking of that. We'll just kind of keep an eye on it. I'm sure they didn't mess this up. So yeah, help me out with that, chat. I need chat snitches. If anybody sees the same unit twice in a row, raise the alarm. Let gentlemen know. But okay, here we go. Game number 4. Let's get into it. Okay, in the bottom left we have Kolaru, and over on the right hand side, R22. R22 does have that Wolf Owl, but not as strong as it used to be. I think, I can't remember exactly how they changed it. I know the Wolf doesn't buff tier 3 for as long as it used to, and I want to say it's something like a buffed up Owl has like cooldown reduction for the mice or something. I don't know. They made it a little different. I apologize. I don't know those details exactly, but the point is the Wolf Owl is not as strong as it was, but hey, I'm sure it's still pretty strong, you know, strong enough. Just not like really game breaking. And Wolf Badger, of course, also a strong way to do it. Or always just getting that Wolf out to buff your economy. I think buffing tier 1 is actually kind of viable now with the Wolf, because the buff just lasts for such a long time. 5-farm double coming out of Kolaru. 5-farm triple, actually. Gets scouted by R22. Kolaru sells it off, and hoping R22 overcorrects. But this is a little spicy here. 6-farm double from R22. Yeah, Kolaru will be okay. So a little bit of farm and Warren juggling here in the beginning. But I don't think it's going to matter too much. I don't think anyone got really duped. Good kind of back and forth play there. So, yeah, I think we're going to be in a no harm, no foul situation. Map is pretty interesting. I mean, R22's 3 bases are nice and tight here. Kolaru is a bit more spread out, but Kolaru might actually like this 4 base, because throwing down an artillery cannon would be pretty sweet. Which R22 does not have, and as we just saw, Kolaru doesn't know how to play with his arty. I feel like Kolaru has always been a very strong, like, I would say the defining units of Kolaru are typically like the artillery cannon and Fox. Over the years, I always think Kolaru does really good with those units. We also have a bunch of mills down here in the bottom. We'll see if the players try to take a ninja base down there. If we get in a big, fat macro game, those bases could really start mattering. So remember, this is the variant here. After this game, we're actually going to see some relatively normal tooth and tail matches for the tournament. Just keep in mind they can't use the same units twice, so in a row. So what that means is next game, Kolaru can't use a Fox. The game after that he could if he wanted. So boar coming out here from Kolaru. Actually going to sell the mill. R22 going for that quick wolf. I do like the fast wolf. The wolf is just such a well-rounded utility unit. It can do a variety of things for you. Buff up your eco, buff up your production rate, or buff up your units. So R22 going to get a nice Swiss Army knife out of that wolf. Nice scout from Kolaru, does see the wolf. Meanwhile, R22 going to come take a look around, does see the board, does see the second base. So great scouts, or I'm sorry, just the base. For some reason I thought that was an expansion there, but great scouts from both sides. They see exactly what's going on. R22 not probably too happy about the boar, as the boar is very strong against tier 1, which R22 has been trying to leverage to get into his tier 3. So we have the badger on the way, which will be nice to deal with what Kolaru's got cooking up here, but I'm not sure if it'll be out in time. The boar's got a really big lead on that badger, but the wolf coming out might help that badger get out a bit quicker. So we'll see. Is Kolaru going to pull the trigger? To me, it looks like he will. He keeps throwing down tier 1 Warrens. He's grabbing some frontline stuff. I like the campfire pickup, but I think this is mostly for territory. This, ooh. Look at this. Oh, Kolaru almost scouted it. He could smell it, man. Kolaru's star sense was tingling. But didn't quite scout all the way. Doesn't have the time, to be fair, though. He can't be dilly-dallying around on the map. He's got the board. He's trying to do this board timing here. Every second counts. Once that badger gets up, that's really going to help R22 defend, and Kolaru wants to get here before that happens. Does Kolaru know about the badger? Actually doesn't, but still. Kolaru knows R22 knew about his board, you know, so something's coming up. Kolaru losing the commander, though. Will it actually matter? This army doesn't need a whole lot of micro. Yeah, the board's in a good spot to keep just slamming. Oh, but the badger's here. Will it be enough, though? It is kind of getting cornered. Doesn't have any support. Oh, he needs to get the boar bomb on the badger. Doesn't get it on the badger, but kills the mill with the boar. R22 is starving. Luckily for R22, he did take this ninja base down in the south, so is able to throw down some farms. And I don't know, man. I think R22 could do this. The badger wolf is a lot stronger than what Kolaru's got cooking here. I mean, a lot of tier 1 sometimes will just kind of make it happen. But let's see. R22 is a great player. He's got great control. He's probably really worried about his badger here. There's no convenient water to let it take a bath and heal up a little bit faster. And Kolaru's going to push out. Oh, 7 HP on this bat. See, this is where it's good. Okay, but only the wolf badger left. He can at least kill this wolf. He's going to back this badger to a corner. Kolaru might be doing it here. Yeah, 1 HP on that badger. That is a dead. That's gotta be a dead badger. So there it is. R22 is gonna tap. Nicely done. Fun game so far today. We're off to a great start. But the silliness is over for the most part. The rest of this series is gonna kind of be proper tooth and tail games. So if R22 could come back, it's like the he's taking off the ankle weights now, right? R22 can actually play the game how he wants to. He's not really going to be super limited by the gentleman's crazy rules. So let's see if we can make it happen here in game number 5. Next game is no squirrel. That is very true. Wow, no lizards either. Huh. Okay, in the right-hand side we have Kolaru. In the top left, R22. Is there a reason that we don't see lizards here? Is there like a ban or something? Let me check the rules. No. We had the same strat, I believe, keeping the lizards for later, says Kolaru in chat. Oh, I see. Well, I mean, next game you could have got the squirrels back anyways, but that is kind of funny. Huh. Alright. This is going to be a good one. Look at R22's deck. What am I complaining about? This is the kind of stuff that I love here. Toad, ferret, snake, pigeon. Let's go. This is gonna be a crazy game. This is I think I caster cursed this replay, man. I was saying, you know what? You know, the restrictions are pretty much off these guys. You know, we're gonna see some more proper tooth and tail here, and then we get these toad decks. So interesting. I see the decision making here. It's kind of funny that both R22 and Kolaru came to the same decision of like saving the lizards for next game, maybe trying to get like a squizzard comp. I think it makes more sense for Kolaru to try something risky here because he is so far ahead this series. But I mean, R22's on his last life. You know, R22 loses this map, that's it. He's out of the tournament. And I mean, the tournament does have a prize pool, you know, but mostly it's about bragging rights, of course. So yeah, I mean, this is a very, very important map for R22. Hopefully he can make it happen. Not that I want bad omens for Kolaru. I love Kolaru, but you know, if R22 wins here, then we get more games in this set, right? So for a double Falcon opening from Kolaru, that actually is kind of hilarious. Because R22's only got snakes that can shoot up. And maybe I'm crazy, but I feel like falcons are pretty good against snakes. I think that's a hot take. I don't know if I'm right there. Yeah, I'm not so sure. I feel like the falcon, it's easier for the falcons to DPS down the snakes once we get into high numbers. I mean, what do you guys think? Like 8 falcons versus 8 snakes, who wins? Because you try to tag all the falcons down, aren't you like wasting DPS? Because you're over tagging, you know? I think in low numbers, snakes are probably going to win, but I think in high numbers, the falcons win. So Kolaru's got some cheeky mulehorns here. Gonna try to come in, but R22 kind of busted him. He's got these snake micro already, and here come those snake tags. And yeah, I mean, look at that. That was actually very good. He traded one snake for 2 falcons. He did a good job of getting that micro on. So yeah, the snake's definitely doing well against falcons here in low numbers. This is kind of disastrous for Kolaru, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised to see a tap here. That went very, very bad. I liked what Kolaru was trying to do, but I think R22 kind of saw the Warrens being built. It looked like R22 was moving these snakes across the map to knock out this gristmill, and then he was like, oh wait, you can't do that anymore. So yeah, R22 really has to rely on the ferrets for dealing with structures. I mean, the toads can as well, but you generally, unless you're hitting like Warrens with them, like I wouldn't mind crashing my toads into this front right here, you know? Hitting the Warrens, hitting the units, hitting the pigs, but you're not going to want to use toads on a mill, generally. But if you do use toads on a mill, you'll make me a very happy caster. Alright, R22 moving in. He's got the pigeons to back up the snakes here. Snakes have a very large HP pool. It's always easy to forget. I mean, 32 HP is quite a bit. So let's see. Toads versus Toads. Pretty similar numbers. Kolaru's got a lot of falcons in the air. These pigeons helping out a ton. I feel like pigeons are very underutilized. Underappreciated. Ooh, Kolaru going down there. That's actually really bad because this is kind of a micro war. So R22 is going to try to bait out whatever tags he can get. That was pretty nice for R22 there. Picking up a falcon, a couple toads. And this is looking rough. I think Kolaru is abandoning ship here. He's trying to get his falcons out. He's just running his tier 1 up. Actually, he doesn't do too bad with those tier 1 there, all things considered. Gonna knock out that mill very quickly with the falcons. Keeping the falcons alive. Gonna dive in on the snakes here. But man, that pigeon healing really helps. And R22 has such good micro. Been very impressed by how well he's been able to get his different tags up. Baiting back to his pigeons to keep healing these units. So yeah, nicely played so far by R22. Using this kind of off-brand, but kind of powerful composition. 11 snake tags on the commander. Commander snake tags are such nonsense. I don't think, I've already lobbied for enough snakes nerfs. I don't think I can lobby for the, don't poison commander nerf. Alright, Kolaru trying to make something happen, but at this point, R22 is just so far ahead. Really small economies from both sides, though. And I think this is where Kolaru taps. He's starving, he's losing the last of his falcons. His commander just keeps getting poisoned down. And yeah, that should be it. GG. If commander burrows, it cancels poison. Oh, really? That's cool. I didn't know that. I think commander poison's not as big of a deal later on because you have more HP with the commander. Okay, 3-2. So that brings us to game number 6 here. And again, they just can't. They only have 5 units, so they can't use any units they used last time. So lizard, pigeon, ferret, snake, boar. Out for Kolaru here in the top. And over on the left-hand side, we've got lizard cam, fox, balloon, wire. Another really cool composition. R22 is a very strong player. If I recall correctly, he did quite well in 2021 Champions, the last major event that we had here. So, really cool to see how R22 is going to do it. I do love that Fox plus defense. I think it could be a lot of fun. And this is a nice base for R20. Well, actually, there is a backdoor entrance. Kolaru can sneak through here with some lizards. And let's look at Kolaru's base. There is technically a little sneaky through the water wasteland into the back door of Kolaru. Generally kind of an awkward map, though, for both sides. Very cluttered. Lots of doodads, lots of terrain. It looks like one major attack path here through the center. And Gristmill spawn, pretty awkward for both sides. I think more awkward for Kolaru. I mean, both players get a reasonable second base. I don't think either player is particularly happy with it. Kolaru acting like some shenanigans are going to go down, but just going to go home. I think at the end of the day, though, the map does kind of split. Like, if this is the center alley, right, this is the no man's land. Kolaru is going to have 2 bases, 4 bases, and then R22 also gets 4 bases, like this. Again, it's really awkward for both sides. I don't think there's an attack path into this base, though, into either of these. So that's not as bad for Kolaru as it looks. Maybe I'm wrong, because this map is kind of janky. I don't think there's a way that R22 can wiggle through here and get to these bases. I think to get to either side of the map, you gotta go through this main area here. With the exception of this little back alley from R22. So yeah, kind of neat map actually. Boar going down for Kolaru gets spotted pretty quickly by R22. Could throw down his own Fox. Could just try to attack. Ooh, this might be brutal. This might be game-ending damage, but no, R22 has the wire ready to roll. Is Kolaru going to go for it anyways? I don't think so. Now Kolaru is out of position. R22 is knocking on his front door with a bunch of lizards and chameleons. Kolaru has 360 bucks wrapped up into a boar right now. This could be an R22 victory. Let's see, R22 is not hard committing just yet. Waiting for some reinforcements. I think he's only got one cam on the front. The second cam's coming in now. So just gonna snag this. Gets a little bit of damage. Ugh. Man, this barbed wire from R22 really saved his main base though. Because Kolaru was ready to pounce in there. And I think it would have been right for Kolaru to kind of start that base trade. Because he'd have the boar coming out, right, to eventually clean up R22's army. That would have been a wild game. But no, R22 for the low price of 4 barbed wire saves his main base from Kolaru's lizard attack. And now Kolaru's got the boar. R22 trying to defend him. Ooh, this is disastrous for R22 though. Losing 2 balloons for free like that, he's gonna start losing a whole lot more. R22 realizes that he's not in a good position here. Gonna just try to run around and leverage the fact that he has fast units versus slow boar. Kolaru trying to pick off the cams. The cams go down. Only lizards remain here for R22. Man, losing those 2 balloons like that before they could get set up might have been the nail in the coffin here from R22. Now keep in mind, R22's economy is way better than Kolaru's. So Kolaru really needs to get some damage done. It's also going to depend on how many of these 4 remaining farms were starting farms. Once we hit the 5-minute mark, take a close look at that. That could really kill the rest of Kolaru's economy. Kolaru knocking out that expansion mill. R22 trying to get ready for a base race, it looks like, but Kolaru's already prepared. He's got mills everywhere. Yeah, Kolaru only have 1 farm remaining. 3 of those last farms were starting farms. That's going to be it, I think. R22 should be tapping out. Even if he doesn't, the boar will be roasting that mill. And Kolaru will advance to round number 3.